Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We are in game number 3 of a best of 7 in the round of 4 of CNSL Season 6. In the top left of Dark Origin, we have our player leading the series 2-0 right now. It's Beast. And in the bottom right, we have a player who's giving him some insane games, but not really coming out on top, at least thus far. It's going to be Motive. This map definitely plays a lot different than those other maps, and we'll get into that in a minute, but, you know, we're early game, so this is a great time to say thank you for watching ArtosisCasts. Please go ahead, subscribe, leave a comment, give it a like. You know, these things really do help the channel, and I appreciate you guys for checking it out. Hope that you enjoy it, and definitely some great stuff coming in the future as well. You know, we're almost done this tournament right now. Just a few more matches after this. We're gonna have a third place match, So versus the loser of this match. And I actually never noticed the Overlord has a head right there. I am unhappy. My life has changed. I thought that these pincers were its mouth, and this was just like its head in general, and maybe like those two dots were the eyes or something like that. I wish I could unsee this. This is now 25 years I've looked at the Overlord in the same way. And that is just not the way that it is. Remastered has ruined this game. Okay. Anyways, yeah, thanks for checking out ArtosisCasts. So, Dark Origin, we have the Hatchery expansion. It's going to be going up against a Gateway expansion. So the Gateway, of course, can go ahead and pressure this. We'll see how many Zealots he ends up making, how efficient those are. You know, Dark Origin, let's talk about, like, what's really different about this map, because this is a very different two-player map. These 3 bridges, they're super thin, okay? They're super thin, so containments are incredibly strong, right? You can only have, like, realistically, a couple of units on the bridge coming over at the same time. So, like, if you're funneling your army through here, it gets absolutely destroyed. Containment is gigantic. Whoever controls the center of this map generally is going to control the map in all ways, right? Because you only have 3 bases that are in this little segment, right? So, like, here's Beast's main base, his natural expansion, 3rd base. Okay, so if you contain here, there is a path up this way, but the minerals for this 4th base are facing the outside, so you can actually harass it with Psystorm and stuff. So, yeah, there's some issues if you get contained on this map. Of course, that goes both ways. Protoss can get contained, Zerg can get contained. Whoever controls that center generally going to be having a good time. Well, taking a look at this game, everything looking pretty standard, pretty normal so far. This probe is actually harassing really heavily at the 3rd, and with a Zealot coming, this may actually end up paying off, this offensive pylon. Trying to block him from making a hatchery so that maybe the Zealot goes up there, maybe it... Okay, because I was wondering if he'd send this to the natural and make the Lings decide, do we go after the Zealot, do we go after the pylon? But he brings over the Zealot, cancels that pylon, so will prevent the 3rd base location. That is very annoying for Beast. I think that's a very solid opener there for Motive. Just, you know, there should already be a 3rd hatch on the way, and there isn't. So right now, Beast is going for a very quick Zergling speed, but not just that, he's still mining gas. That's the peculiar part of this. The Zergling speed, not a big deal, right? Like, maybe he can use it offensively, maybe he can use it defensively, right? There's, like, a lot of options there. But the fact that he's still mining that much gas means that his economy is pretty weak, so it looks like it's going to be aggression. Right, Lair gets started. It might be like a 2-hatch Muta type of play. Zealot and Probe go up the ramp, so he's going to actually be able to tell what's going on. When he sees the Lair, of course, he doesn't know the start time. He doesn't know for sure what's happening, but when you see this much gas and this quick of a layer, like here, I guarantee he's going to be thinking that this is 2-hatch Muta, but we can tell it's actually not going to be because there is a Hydralisk den down here, so that's really tricky. Oh my god, 2 drones die? Are you serious? 2 drones go down. The Probe got 1 kill. The Zealot got the other kill. That's pretty gigantic. 12 drones right now. Oh my god, he cancels the layer. It was all a bait the entire time. So this is going to be a 2-hatch Hydra all in. He has Speedlings, and now 2-hatch Hydra going to be on the way. Honestly, this is kind of crazy. This game is going to end one way or the other very, very quickly. Nice surround there on that Zealot. Doesn't want him to be able to get a scout. But like I said, when you see what you've scouted, you definitely think that this is going to be a 2-hatchery Mutalisk. Like, it's not that uncommon of a build. Whereas 2-hatch Hydra, Completely uncommon. You just can't produce as many Hydras if you do this. The other things you could be thinking about are like a lurker drop, maybe a lurker all in at the front. That's not very common, but like you can come up, burrow lurkers to bust the zealots really quickly, then run in. Or you can sometimes, if the cannons are in range, burrow like right up on the wall, target the cannons, and there's no detection, and you can win like that as well. There's a lot of all-ins you can do against Protoss in this matchup, no doubt. Hydralisk range on the way here. Wait, is this, it's range before speed, which is, again, not something we see that often, but he can deny the scouting so hard here that it makes sense in a way when you think about it, right? Like if you use the Zealot or the range on the Hydras, they could either A, push back the Zealots, or B, get up and kill the cannon. Either way, it's going to work out well because there's so many Zerglings out right now that if the wall isn't solid, like the Zerglings will just bust in and kill everything. So this is pretty insane what we're seeing here. Range almost done. It's going to be 6 Hydras only and then Pureling. Dude, I don't think I've ever seen this all in. 2 hatch, Hydra range, mass speedling all in. Okay, I guess so. Let's see what Beast can do with it. All right, he's walking up. He is getting speed, but that is much an afterthought. He has to attack before then. Comes in, starts the attack, goes up and starts targeting down with just 4 Hydras. He's going to get that cannon almost immediately. There is a shield battery here, which is helping a lot, but there's just so many Zerglings. Very difficult indeed. A couple more cannons, 3 more cannons coming up, but it seems like the shield battery is going to run out of energy. He refills one more time. That's going to be it for shield battery energy. Probes having to come up to fight as well. This Zealot gets stuck behind those probes, and now the Zergling's getting on top of the photon cannons. This was a quick one. And with this victory, we are going to go up to 3-0 in Beast's favor, which is pretty insane. So directly into game number 4 here. Beast is on match point. Very, very quick game. Huge mind games going on as well. There in map number 3. And now we're on Vermeer to see if Motive can maybe start a comeback here. I don't feel like he's been playing poorly, but definitely got out mind game that last one. Taking a look at the initial building setup, you are going to have to build a secondary pylon down here as opposed to your main base. Due to the location here on the high ground, this actually economically is a little bit better to play like this because your probe travels less distance to make this. If it was going to be a forge expand, you can just go all the way down. But here, since it's a gateway expand, you always walk back to mine more. But yeah, just a little note there, a little optimization. I like it. I like it. But yeah, Beast really has been on top of this series. Honestly, he's had great mind games, rushes, strategies, macro. Really is in top form here. Well, obviously he's in the round of 4. He's up 3-0, very close to hitting that finals, which would be against, once again, YSC. The loser here will fall down and end up playing against So in the 3rd place match, which I think is going to be pretty fun. Glad to get one more Terran match out of it, since the Terrans have been an endangered species since the round of 16. But yeah, let's see how this one goes. You know, I still think that Motive can start to bring this series back. We've had like a lot of close games. That last one, like, you can just look at that and kind of shake your head and be like, yeah, okay. You know, like that, there was certainly risks inherent. If he ever scouts at Hydralisk Den, he wins the game because you just had like 4 cannons, and the economy of Beast will never, ever, ever catch up with 2 hatchery. It's just not a chance, right? So, very, very big mind games. Even just the fact that he started the lair, but clearly wanted Motive to check it out, or if he didn't check it out, maybe he was like just going to go for the Spire. I don't know, guys. It's wild, though. Now, the first Zealot is up in the main base. Let's see what it gets done. He's got a lot of damage on several drones, right? So we have that one at 17, so that's 2 hits away. This is 1 hit away. He was going after this one because it was 1 hit away for a while there. Gets another 2 hits off, so he's going to need 1 more on that drone. There's one drone. Yeah, there's the other. I don't know that he's going to get any. This is some good defense right now from Beast. Yeah, excellent, excellent surround there. And unfortunately, 0 kills with the initial Zealot. Not the end of the world to get 0 kills, by the way. These Zealots, you don't actually have to, gain an advantage with them. But look, like, for instance, he's forced 10 lings out, right? Normally, you're going to make, like, 4 lings if there is no pressure, or maybe even just 2. So when you look at this, when it's 10, it's like, okay, 3 to 4 drones could have been made that no longer have been made. And the lings don't really scale. It's not that they're not useful, but they don't really You're not gaining value by having Lings out on the map, truly. Or the value is so small compared to what a drone gives. But anyways, he does end up killing that probe. Photon cannon on the way. There's already 4 Zealots out, which is kind of insane. Yeah, Motive's Nexus finishes up. So everything looking pretty good. Third base is up here for Beast. Got to get those drones mining. We saw that was a little bit slow on that one, but not a big deal. And yeah, I think he'll calm down here for a moment while we kind of wait to see, is this going to be a layer? Is this going to be speed? Could it even be a Hydralisk Den? And Zergling speed gets started. Okay. You know, I mean, he has a fair amount of Zerglings out already, and he knows that there's going to be another Zealot move out. So I really don't mind that. One Zealot has gone way around, but will walk under an Overlord. So that's going to be an easy catch for him. He wants to wiggle it away as much as possible and make this take time so his other 3 can go across the map. But it feels like Beast is just surrounding it a little bit too strongly. He's a little bit too on top of things. So that one goes down for free. These 3 just going to turn around and go home. Another probe going to slip out. This is looking to see, is there like a Hydralisk Den or something that he can see right away? But of course, with this many Lings, it's going to be a little bit hard to get past, especially when that Zergling speed upgrade finishes. Now, I hadn't looked, but I just saw it pop up on the production tab. We have a Hydralisk Den. We have Hydra speed. So a very standard Zergling speed into 3 hatch Hydra play here. Now, this is interesting. He's actually working on this egg. Huh. I wonder why he wants to take that out right now. I guess if you, let's say a Hydralisk bust comes, a lot of times a big problem with holding it is getting all your Zealots through the choke. But if you have 4 coming out instead of 2 at once, all to hit, that definitely could help. Of course, he doesn't know that there's a bust coming, and he has enough Zealots. If you're not going to leave your base, it's not like Speedlings are going to get in because you killed that egg. You know, the egg is there purposefully for early game wall-ins PvZ. That's like what chokes take into consideration. It's like, can Protoss wall this and live through Zerglings? Right? That's literally it. Like, that's what you're looking for. And there are certain walls that lend themselves to good Terran wall-ins, or, you know, good wall-ins. Protoss versus Terran, sometimes you can have a nice wall that kind of prevents harassment, that type of thing. Now, the Corsair going straight out, it's not going to see the Hydras on the way, but it might see, for instance, one pop out of an egg. No, it's not going to happen here. Heavy drone saturation there, and a little bit lighter there. So there are a lot of drones out. He has a pretty big economy. But now I think he's starting to figure out what's going on. Yeah, more cannons on the way. Zerglings and Hydras starting to push forward. I think he's just got enough. Like, he might not be able to save the +1 if some targeting occurs here, which I would like to see, by the way. Like, I mean, getting the gateway isn't bad, for sure, but if you can prevent +1, obviously that is very, very annoying for Protoss. And yeah, it's right. It's like, oh, he cancels one. He cancels one cannon. So I think he's looking at this. This actually happens a fair amount where there's like just a small group of Hydras that sit on hold position. See that come out right there was to try to prevent +1 from going away. So, oh my God, this is the closest ever. He didn't get it. That was like the very last second. That's painful. That's incredibly painful. He loses like 2 Zealots and a ton of health on these 2. And doesn't save it. Ouch. I feel for him right there. That is pain. Again, not necessarily the end of the game, though. And one thing I do have to say is he really skimped on cannons, and it actually worked out for him. A lot of times, you know, you need more cannons than this to hold, but Motive read it correctly and is able to add these gateways a little bit quicker by canceling those cannons. Flying around, he does see, you know, more Hydras are being hatched, and it's a pretty big economy. So he's going to have to really mass up. In fact, I think Motive may have to re-add cannons now that his gateways are up, because he is not going to have Psystorm in time for the next attack, I believe. Right? The amount of Hydras coming out. You know, we talk about this sometimes when I'm casting PvZs on this channel. The pre-storm bust timing is what I like to call it. If Zerg can hit in that window where they have a lot of Hydras, but it's right before Psystorm, that is actually one of the most dangerous timing attacks in the game. Maybe in some ways stronger at higher levels than 3 hatch Hydra. Now, you can see he's adding a bunch of cannons. So after those gateways go up, he realizes, okay, I'm not going to have the storm. He's throwing down gateways to buy time because he knows how dangerous this is. But here we go. Comes in, and those cannons not quite ready. Oh my God, the amount of Hydras here is immense. Psystorm not ready yet. You see the Psy Templar on the high ground, unable to help out. And he is busting through right now. Oh my god, this is going to be game. Too much damage being dealt. There's, even if you get the best Psystorm in the whole world here, there's still enough to kill everything that comes out of the gateways. So I think that we are just about done here. He even kills that one before it gets its storm off. GG, and that means that Beast goes to the finals, but first, So-So against Motive in the third place match.